kupata maarifa ya manufaa, kupata maarifa ya manufaa. Read my books.
Welcome back. This is the Book X-Ray. We are reviewing the book I Want Me Back, like you want yourself back. And it is interesting in our society right now. You see people, struggling to get their health in order. I went somewhere and somebody told me that, when I was a girl, I used to be petite and I could wear small dresses, but now I'm so huge. Mr. Stephen, you write about taking care of your health and being cautious of what you eat.
And it is very important because you are a sum total of what you eat. In fact, I make a joke and I tell people that whatever, you look exactly like what you've been eating. And I make a joke and I say, if you eat mandazi, then you just fura like mandazi. You are an exact exclamation of what you've been eating. And I think particularly for ladies, because they are so keen on how they appear and all that, I think the moment you hit 30, you shouldn't even be fooling around by thinking about eating junk food and all that. I think you should be a bit cautious, eating a well-balanced diet, make sure that you take a lot of water, a lot of vitamins, because you want your skin to remain youthful and you want to look young and all that. And not just even for the ladies anyway. If you are going to be successful in life, you have to have the energy, the enthusiasm, the vigor, the vitality. And that cannot come if you're not feeding correctly, if you're not sleeping well, if you're not exercising. You need to do all that.
Sure.
Yes.
I don't know what really happens, because you find that people really lose themselves in so many things, including careers.
Yes.
I've encountered people, I've met people who, they'll tell you, I don't feel like going to work this morning, because their careers are totally not in order.
Yes. I had a joke days ago of someone who said that most of the heart attacks happen on Sunday evening when people are preparing to go to work the following day on Monday. Why? Because they are going to work in jobs they hate. So they try to go. Their hearts are telling them, don't go. So the hearts attack them. Don't go. What am I trying to say? It is very unfortunate that even people don't even know the essence of who they are. When I meet with people and ask them, who are you? People try to define themselves by what they do. I am a teacher because they teach. I am a lawyer because they practice law. I am a doctor because they are treating people. Mm-hmm. What you do has nothing to do with who you are. Mm-hmm. You are not a human doing. You are a human being. You have to find yourself first. Who are you? What were you meant to do? What were you? And it is very unfortunate that people walk through life, the entire life, without ever coming into contact with who they are, without ever really having lived. It's very unfortunate.
Well, this is an interesting question I'm going to ask, not necessarily relating to the book, but as an author, have you ever come to a point of asking yourself, I want me back?
Oh yes, and many times. Let me tell you, the way you move forward in life is determined by the kind of questions you ask. Did you know that most people don't think, but we think that we think? You only start thinking when you start asking yourself very tough questions for which you need to look for the answers. And I actually have a list of questions that I ask myself. I ask myself, is this the best I could have done given all the opportunities, the talents, the gifting, the exposure, and everything God has given to me? 3 years ago, I was actually stagnating in my career in authorship and seminars and all that. And I was asking myself, I feel I should be more than what I am. So I had to have a meeting. I call it an executive committee meeting with myself. And I encourage people every week and every day, actually, every day you should have a minimum of 15 minutes or 10 minutes every day to think through what you're doing with your life, so that you are not just caught up in the mundane activities of just doing things enormously and all that. Mm-hmm. Every week you should have at least 1 hour. Every week, and which 1 hour quiet by yourself to think, meditate, reflect on what you are doing. Every month you should have at least 1 day. Every year, you should at least have a weekend away just to think, ask yourself questions. Am I making an impact? Am I making a contribution? Am I living my life in full? Am I fooling myself? Am I better than I was yesterday? How much have I achieved? Where do I want to go? Am I on the right course? What do I need to change? What do I need to alter? What is this I need to learn? What kind of person do I need to become? What kind of beliefs do I need to have in order for me to become the kind of person that I want to be? You need to be asking yourself all this. And even me, I ask myself those questions. I never tell people to do things that I don't do myself.
Very interesting. That is very challenging.
Thank you.
As you are writing this book, what is that point that you would like people to read and run with it from this book?
The fact that you excel or fail to excel based on the kind of self-image that you put on, the kind of habit. Do you know the original word from where the word habit was gotten from? It means a garment. It's a garment, it's a clothing. And the habit you acquire determines where you'll be in life. Let me, Daisy, for a moment, just take you back a little into something that may not even be related to what you just asked me. But we all want to be successful in life. Sure. People are striving for success. But the dividing difference between success and failure is so thin, and I will define it for you. Failure is little errors in judgment every day practiced over a period of time. Now, success is similar but slightly different. Success is little disciplines practiced every day for a long period of time. So you see, the things that you do every day either make you or undo your gains in life. It's the little things. It's waking up a little early. It's reading one chapter of a book. It's doing exercise here. It's interacting with people. It's acquiring one skill every month of 10 skills every year or something like that. The little things that you do, when you look at them backward, you see, oh, I have learned so much. But you must have a plan.
Sure.
Yes.
You may not have enough answers to finish what you want, but you do have enough of them to get started. There are people who have lost themselves totally. From your perspective, do you think there is hope to be restored?
The moment you don't have hope, nothing can be done. In fact, all the instance of motivational speaking and inspirational speaking is all about creating hope. Because without hope, what else is there, really? And let me tell you, the amazing thing that is, regardless of what has ever happened to anybody in life, you are not the first one. You know, the world over is full of examples, of testimonials of people who have been where you are right now and who have made it. But there have been also others who were at the same place, or at one time they were at the same spot you are in, but they didn't make it. Why? Because of what they were thinking and where they were focusing. So regardless of what has happened to you in your life, in your career, health and all, we have got witnesses, testimonials of people everywhere with health issues who overcame those issues, with the career problems who overcame, with financial bankruptcy. And I'm one of them, by the way. Lost, in debt, swinging in debt, not even having anything to my name. But I've been able to get it back again. Yes.
Well, as you are writing this book, I'm sure you wanted to bridge a gap. Why should somebody pick this book from the bookshelf and read it?
Because this is so practical. It is from, life story. I do not write things because of going into the internet and Googling them over the web. No. I happen to be a very curious person in life. When I meet with people, I listen to their story. They trigger thoughts in my mind, and I write about those things. I write about their experiences. I ask people questions. How did you do this? How did you overcome this? What do you think? How can it be done? So it is real things. It is not anything I bring from space. It is real life. That's why someone needs to read that book.
How does it feel when somebody comes to you telling you, I read your book, it has really transformed my life, it was good work, well done?
It is so humbling, I tell you. It is so humbling. And sometimes, let me tell you, authors, just like musicians anyway, my brother happens to be a musician, and he tells me anytime he produces or releases a song, he does not even want to watch the song himself. It's the same case with when you write a book. Sometimes you look at what you've written and you're like, is it going to help anyone really? But now when someone comes and say, oh, I read your book and you transformed my way of thinking and all that, you feel, oh, I'm humble. I'm glad, at least, even if not for anyone else, for you, I wrote the book.
And for the book, I Want Me Back, do you think there is something you left out, or maybe you could have done better than this?
Every time you do something, including what you are doing, Daisy, I'm sure that even after people watch, when you sit down to watch what we have done today, perhaps you'll be like, maybe I should have asked that question. Maybe I should have done this. It's like, that's what happens. There's always, I wish I did this. I wish I asked this. I wish I wrote this. I wish I focused this on more. And that's what happened when like now, the second edition of this book is going to be totally different from this one. Because when I look at it, they said, oh, maybe I should have explained more on this point. Maybe I should have shown people how to do this, for example. So it will be better, definitely. When I look at it, I say, oh, I should have done this. I should have done that.
I'm looking forward for the second edition.
It will be
I'll
coming.
be among the first.
Of
people
course you
to
will.
get that.
Yes.
Now, on conclusion, you have written so many books. I mean, there are so many titles under your authorship. Tell us more about those books, maybe the title, where we can find them.
Okay. The first book I did it in the 90s. I was in college, and I think the reason why I had the inspiration to write a book is because I was awake most of the times at night. Not because I was studying too much, but because I was a little worried because I didn't know where my fees would come from. So I found myself in that, in meditation and all that, and I would get a lot of inspiration and I would write them down. My first book is called Fruitful and Quality Life. It's such a rich spiritual food for people who are spiritual, who want to know what they can do with their lives from a spiritual perspective, how to pray and all that. It's a really scriptural book. Wonderful book, excellent book. The second book I did is a little book called Self-Confidence Formula. And the reason why I did that book is because I met with people who were telling me, Stephen, I want to do what you're doing. I want to be able to speak, but how do I gain confidence? So I did a little book for people who want to learn how to gain confidence on that. And I did another book for students in high school and also in the university called The Secrets of Achievement in Academic Excellence. It's a book that shows how you can actually get someone who's been getting E's to get an A. And I'm not trying to hype it up. It's factual. I have done it. I have walked through with students in schools who are not performing, and they perform when they do what I've outlined in that book. I've done a book called Top Positioning. I have done a book called The Trick of Life. I have done a book called Kiss of Death. And many more are coming. This year I'm going to release a book called Big Thinkers Vocabulary.
Wow.
Yes.
Well, it has been an honor having you again.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure.
You know, it feels good to meet somebody and meet them again and again.
Thank you very much.
All I can say is that I wish you well.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, that marks the end of our show today. To get more of this book, I Want Me Back, and more especially if you are asking yourself whether you are still the same person who began the year 2016, get this book, read it, and I'm sure it is going to change your life like it has changed mine. Well, it is a wrap. Until next time, stay tuned and be blessed. I've been your host, Kapira Daisy.
Knowledge is power, knowledge is power. Read more books, kusoma ni sawa. Read more books, kupata maarifa ya manufaa. Kupata maarifa ya manufaa. Read more books.